Hello there, students. Hope you are staying indoors and taking good care of yourselves and your family. Welcome for today's online session of English. Students, you know that we have sense organs, 5 sense organs. Eyes being the most important for vision, but ears also play an important role when it comes to hearing. Now, children, there is a difference between hearing and listening. Surprised? Yes. Let me educate you for the same. Hear. Now, here is the action of a sound coming to our ears. We do not have a choice. Whenever we hear something, we are inactive. We are inactive many a times. No real effort is required to hear something. For example, I hear this bird singing, or I heard him shouting, or have you heard from him? Now we'll see listen. Now what does listen mean? Now listen is when we are concentrating on a sound, we are active. It is possible to hear without listening, is it? For example, when the teacher tells the class to keep quiet, there are still some students who do not keep quiet. So they have heard what the teacher said but are not listening to the teacher. Okay, children? Whereas the other way round, it is impossible to listen without hearing. Example, on the teacher's announcement to take out the notebooks, everyone in the class listens and does accordingly. So students, today we are going to see in lesson number 3, be a good listener. How to be a good listener means the characteristics of a good listener. Now let us start by reading the lesson part by part and then explanation. But before that, I would request you students to be ready with your pen and pencil and write down the meanings that I am going to repeat, and they will be displayed at the end. Let's start. Lesson number 3. Be a good listener. It is important to be a good listener. Listener is one who listens. When you are learning a language or when you are dealing with other people. Are you a good listener? You can find it out with the help of the following questions. 1. When you are listening to someone, do you look at the person or do you turn your head away or toy with something else? Good listeners look at the speaker. Speaker is one who speaks. 2. Do you pay attention to what the speaker is saying? Good listeners pay close attention to the speaker. Pay close attention means listen carefully. 3. Do you make any special efforts to understand the speaker? Here are some of the things that will help you understand the speaker better. If you hear some new or unfamiliar words, unfamiliar means unknown words, and try to guess their meaning from the context. Context means statement or idea. Here we finish the half part of the lesson. So from the above part, we can find out whether we are a good listener or by asking ourselves some questions and understanding simultaneously whether we are good listeners or not by the answers that we get. Now we'll turn to the first characteristic. Good listeners look at the speaker. What do good listeners do? They look at the speaker. Okay, children? Now, to become a good listener, you should look at the speaker when he is talking to you or saying something. Second, good listeners pay close attention to the speaker. What do they do? Good listeners pay close attention to the speaker. When he or she is saying something and try to understand what the speaker is saying. What do? They try to understand what the speaker is saying. Okay? Now, the fourth part is if you come across any new words, you should write them down exactly like we underline the hard or the new words or the dictation words that we come across when we are reading the lesson. Now let's turn to the remaining part of the lesson. You can try to guess what the speaker will say next. Try to keep listening even when you feel that you do not understand the speaker or even when you disagree. Now, disagree means do not agree with the speaker. Wait for the speaker to finish what he is saying. Then you can get your doubts clarified. Clarified means make clear by asking polite questions. Polite means what? Yes, children, polite means you should be well mannered. Do not feel shy or afraid to ask questions if you do not understand what is being said. Put your questions to the speaker politely. Sometimes it helps to note down important words or points even as you listen. Lastly, it also helps to keep thinking about what you heard. You may group the meaning of a difficult word or phrase later on. Now, next part says that we should listen to the speaker carefully and try to guess what he would say next. Sometimes it may happen that we do not understand or disagree. We do not understand or disagree with the speaker, but without losing interest, we should wait till he finishes and then clarify our doubts by asking very politely to the speaker without being shy or afraid. Now, why we should listen patiently to the speaker if we do not understand also? Because in case if we do not understand it, then after some time we may get a clear idea of what the speaker wanted to say or he was saying. I hope all of you are being a good listener and have patiently and carefully listened to today's. Remember, children, if you want to be a good speaker, You should always be a good listener. Okay? Every good conversation starts with good listening. Now let's summarize. You can see the points here in short. Okay? Now we will summarize. Okay? The characteristics of a good listener are the one who looks at the speaker, sits still, thinks about what they hear, asks questions, pays attention when the speaker is saying something, then does not interrupt the speaker, waits for the speaker to finish, stays focused, speaks only when it is his turn, stays patient and relates to the topic, and lastly gives the feedback. Okay, children? Now let's go to the meanings. First one, listener means the one who listens. Then speaker, the one who speaks. Pay close attention to means listen carefully. Unfamiliar. Unfamiliar means unknown. Context means a statement or idea. Disagree means do not agree. Clarify means make clear. Polite is well behaved. I hope the topic is clear. Now, hope you all understood today's session, and now onwards you will be a good listener. This is your teacher, Mrs. Dipti Kamalwar, signing off. Stay home, stay safe. And if you have liked the video, please press a like, share it, and if you have subscribed it once, please do not subscribe again. And if not, please subscribe.